Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend us your ears. You have reached the Rocksmith 2014 live stream straight from San Francisco here at Ubisoft San Francisco. And yes, if you are a regular viewer of our show, you may have noticed there have been a few changes. We have been doing pre-recorded streams for the last couple of weeks while this room got under control and completely rebuilt, basically. This is thanks to our friend and your friend, CC Smith. You know her from the Werewolves Within streams and several others. But she said, we need a better room, and she made it happen. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. This week is the 80s Mix 3-pack for Rocksmith Remastered. This is available on all 6 of our platforms, but we will be talking about our 7th before the end of the show. So take a look at the trailer for the songs that are in this pack. We'll be back. Sharon, Jason, and many other people are here, and we will play through this. We'll go through some Q&A, and we've got Ernie Ball giveaways to do. It's basically the same old show you know with a brand new pretty coat of paint. So check it out, and we'll be right back. Thanks for joining us.
You take it on the run, baby, if that's the way you want it, baby, then I don't want you around. I don't believe it, not for a minute. You're under the gun, so you take it on the run. Coward, ride the call. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Make this score what we say. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Try to stop what we do. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. When they get it, do it themselves. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. We are tired of your abuse. Try to stop us, it's no use. Society's arms of control. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Make this smart and think themselves. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Laugh at us behind our back. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. I find satisfaction in what they lack. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. We are tired of your abuse. Try to stop us, but it's no use.
I'm a man with a one-track mind, so much to do in one lifetime. Leaning for compromise and whiz and wise and living lies, so I'm living it all. Yes, I'm living it all, and I'm giving it all, and I'm giving it all.
That's what's on deck for this week. So if you grew up during the 80s, the way that I did anyway, you probably recognize an awful lot of those songs. We're going to throw in an extra 80s song as well, so we will play 4 songs today. I will keep that a secret, but I will give you a hint. The 4th song is celebrating an important anniversary today. And no, it's not Star Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Sharon Marmito on bass. Hi, Sharon.
Hey, Dan.
Thanks for coming by.
What's
and Jason Kokel here. You know Jason, as always, for his mega beard. And his incredible playing on songs like, what the hell song are you doing today?
I Want It All by Queen.
So you had the fun job of note tracking Brian May
Yes.
How easy is that? I mean, like, is he a very technical player, or is he more about the feel?
I think it's both. He's very he can play pretty fast and accurately, but there is a lot of. I mean, it's sort of like this song, at least in particular, sort of fast blues licks that are basically disguised as this sort of.
Yeah, this basically cooks it double time towards the end of the song.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I've note tracked a bunch of his stuff so far, since I started here, and yeah, I mean, it's always fun to work on. It's always fun, and this song is cool in particular because there's some space between the lead part. I mean, we could have like jumped around and said, okay, anytime the lead's not playing, let's go to rhythm, but it's a little clunky that way, so you get a little bit of a break in between some of the faster bits.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Sharon, you and I basically flipped a coin, and I lost the coin toss, so you get to play this on the air. This was the one that we both wanted to play, and I'm like, you know what? I got a podium. What do I need? What do I need to do bass lines for this week?
What's the most you ever lost in a coin toss?
Here we go. So
Anyway.
if you guys are ready, and if Pody is ready, Pody's over on the Wheels of Steel. We have a brand new location for the Wheels of Steel, and some upgrades to the Wheels of Steel that are coming soon. But this is "I Want It All" by Queen. If there's anything you want to bring up at the end, go ahead. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're good.
Jen.
She's born ready. If this is one of your first streams, we tend to run pretty loose here, so feel free to ask questions. Obviously, we're dealing with some new elements for this week's stream, and we're going to be adding more elements as time goes on. So if you see things that don't work the way you expect, that's probably because it's the first week we're doing a lot of this stuff. Sharon looks so relaxed, says Burn121.
Adventure seeker on an empty street, just an alley creeper, light on his feet. A young fighter screaming, with no time for doubt. With the greed and anger, can't see a way out. It ain't much I'm asking. I heard him say, gotta find me a future. Move out of my way. Listen, all you people, come gather round. I gotta give me a game plan. Gotta shake it to the ground. Just give me what I know is mine. Baby, do you hear me? Just give me the sign. What you're asking, if you want the truth, here's to the future for the dreams of you.
Big Tony Purple said, I found this to be one of the more approachable Brian May guitar parts. Hold that thought.
I'm a man with a one-track mind, so much to do in one lifetime. Living for compromise, wise and wise, and living life, so I'm living it all. Yes, I'm living it all, and I'm giving it all, I'm giving it all.
All anybody wants to talk about is the set. You guys are doing great, and people are cheering you on, but they're asking questions about the bookshelves and why I'm standing. And some people saying that they felt safer when I talked over the music. And here I was, oh good, I can stop doing that. I think for every 5 people that dislike it, another 5 people do like it, so. You guys are killing it, according to the chat. Well done. Way to both nail it, guys. Burn121 just said, he's so good. So you've got a fan, Kokol.
Oh, thanks. It's Brian May that is good.
Yes, we just bow at the altar of Brian May. Yeah, anything else to know? I mean, it seems like it's a very textbook kind of Brian May solo.
Yeah, it's just
like you said, just
incredibly
fast and
fast in some parts. You know, I didn't have as much time to spend on the refresher as I would have liked.
Sure,
but in time, it's definitely attainable. It's not the most difficult thing out there. It's a lot of fun. I think the hardest part is probably one of the hardest parts is the sort of arpeggiated part. That's at least to read. It's fairly easy to play, but how it looks on the screen is just
counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's not the
Use riff repeater, slow it down.
Yeah.
You can pick it apart at a very slow pace actually, and let yourself ramp up in speed to get that down. It's the perfect use of riff repeater.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about the set for a second. I
go right
love these chairs. I'm gonna just do this all the time. I feel more because before it was really tense. We're like.
Right,
sitting forward like I thought I was going to fall backward. Now I could go to sleep.
So here's the truth about the set. We had these. I asked our facilities team here at Ubisoft. I said, "Do you have any stools?" Because you were here from when we used to have an IKEA couch, and we would squeeze in on the couch, and it looked terrible and it felt terrible. And they're like, "Yeah, we got some spare stools," and they brought us like these silver stools with glittery '50s diner vinyl, which happens to be my style.
Yeah,
so I was like,
cool looking. Yeah.
Well, CC disagrees, and CC has more taste than I do and better taste than I do. And so I said, you know, it's still really important that we have stools because it makes playing guitar a lot easier than having traditional chairs. Fun fact, most of the chairs in the office, the note trackers have removed the arms from the chairs so they can play guitar. And so she said, I'm going to get you stools, but they're going to be nice. They're going to be pretty. You're not going to mess them up, and I'm going to put backs on them. I'm like, does that matter? And everybody went, yes, get us stools with backs. So so everything that you see that is actually pretty is thanks to CC Smith, including my podium, which now people are calling a table. People are saying I should have judges' robes and a gavel and say, you know, excellent performance and be Rocksmith guy in more of a sort of heavy-handed way.
Well, I mean, now if we get like if we get the note track behind us, do one of these. You know what I'm talking about? Just
never turn your back on the audience, man. Never turn your back on the audience. That's the set is you're going to see different things show up on the bookshelves from time to time. We'll continue designing the space. I'm open to your ideas, although I'm now afraid to ask what people would suggest. And I'm standing just because
skull.
Yes, can we get a human skull? I'm standing just because I felt like standing today. I'm pretty wired, and it's been, like as we get everything ready to use the new set, it's been kind of like, so I didn't want to sit. And besides, before I always slumped, and I always hated that. I thought I looked like it adds 20 pounds when I slump. So I'm like, hi, I'm standing. So hey, thank you both very much, and welcome. You are the inaugural act on the set.
Look at that,
which is pretty great. And let's do our inaugural giveaway. From Ernie Ball. We have some Ernie Ball gear here, and somebody in the chat room, Andrev, even said he just got his pack and he's going to do an unboxing video. So we will have proof that the prizes that we're showing you now are the kind of things that you can actually get. One person now and one person later, but one person right now is going to be chosen randomly to win everything that you see here from our friends at Ernie Ball. We've got an Ernie Ball strap. Currently, I believe they are still silver. They are not black at the moment. They are silver. Plus, you're going to get a peg winder, which makes changing strings so much easier. If you change your strings on a regular basis, which you should, you will understand how tedious it is to turn each of those individual cranks. It's annoying as hell. And the way around that is to use this handy-dandy little peg winder. It's perfect. And, of course, we'll give you new strings so that you can try it out. That's the main reason why we give it, so that you can also have so you can have an excuse to use the peg winder. Brand new 10 to 46 gauge regular Ernie Ball slinky strings. These are the industry standard for a reason, folks. These are actually the strings that I like to use. I like to vacillate between 10 and 11 depending on my guitars, and I do like the Ernie Balls quite a bit. Ernie Ball regular bass strings, obviously a bit beefier. They go up to 105, but again, really good do anything kind of strings for your bass. Whatever you need. The Wonder Wipe system, I get asked about this a lot, and I shill for it a lot, but I'm a big fan. Somebody, swear to God, our production coordinator, Emmy, said, do you have any of those string cleaner things you always talk about every week on the stream? I said, the Wonder Wipe? She goes, yeah, the Wonder Wipes. And I'm like, why? They're right here. So you get little pre-moistened packets with towelettes inside. So string cleaners, which obviously makes your strings cleaner, lets them last longer, because they will rust and corrode over time, but not if you clean them every once in a while. When you do change your strings, it's a good idea to clean your fretboard and condition it, so there's some of those in there. And of course, you also just want to have a shiny guitar, so it has some of that in there as well, some guitar polish. And then of course, picks. Everybody needs more, myself included. So there's a dozen picks right there from Ernie Ball, and you will get 3. I only show 2 because I have not changed the graphic yet. I got an idea though. I think the new graphic is coming soon. Our special 1,000 milestone picks. You can only get them here, and there are only 1,000 of them. I will send you 3 of those. What you do with them after that, if you want to frame them, that's fine. If you want to donate them to the Smithsonian, go ahead and try. They're not going to take them. But if you want to just play guitar with them, that's actually what they were designed to do. Please continue to make music with everything that you get in the Ernie Ball prize pack. Our friend UB Vertigo has already started the raffle, and the raffle, I talked so long this time, the raffle may be over, I don't know. But if you win, please send him, he will send you a private message here on Twitch. Check all of your inboxes, because you may not know this, but you do have an inbox for your friends and an inbox for strangers, and there's nobody stranger than UB Vertigo. So he will send you a request for your name, your address, your phone number, and then he will send that to me, and I will send it on out. I'm actually taking tomorrow off, so if you don't get me your address by the end of the day, I will not be able to ship your stuff, and Monday is a holiday. So you'll be waiting a long time for those prizes that you're going to see Andrev show you in an unboxing video. Hi there, Sam Schwartz.
Hey, man. How's it going, Dan?
It's going pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
great.
so.
I like it.
Arthur Von Nagel. Hi there, Arthur. New homeowner, Arthur. Congratulations on that. Just closed the sale. Yes. And I should point something out at this point in the show. Most of the people have not seen the room.
No.
The room has been like, can we go up and no. Nope. You'll see it. You'll see it when it's done. And so it was done today. So a lot of people are coming in going, "Oh, wow, this is great." Because the previous. Let's be honest. Our previous orientation of this room left an awful lot to be desired. There was a lot of exposed concrete.
That's a good you should be
character.
running for office kind of.
It had. Well, I have my podium.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm running for office. It had character.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was. This is a heavily repurposed space. Let's say. We're in some pretty cool old historic buildings here in San Francisco, but the flip side of that is that we have exposed ceiling and we have concrete walls and crazy stuff like that. So as weird as the green screen that we used to use looked, this is a huge upgrade for us. But yeah, it's kind of fun to see you guys come in and be like, oh, I saw Arthur. It was like Christmas morning.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, you don't
really
get to keep
excited.
anything. You don't get to take the stuff off the back of the stuff. Yeah. We're gonna play another song now because we have 4 songs to play. We played 1, and we'll have more giveaways as we go on. We've got DLC codes to give away for the 80s Mix Pack 3, plus we have another entire Ernie Ball pack to give away. But right now we're gonna play Rise Above by Black Flag. Sam, I'm assuming you did the track, or did you take this over because Jamie, who used to work with us...
No, Jamie finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was one of his last songs, I think, before he left.
It makes it sound like sad now. Mm-hmm. And Arthur, you jumped on because you were like, I want to play Black Flag.
Yeah.
Did you grow up listening to Black Flag, I take it?
Yeah, Black Flag and Minor Threat and stuff were some of my early punk influences. It was great. I love this stuff. And in my metal thing, I talked about how influential Black Flag is to metal.
That's true.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with Arthur's metal thing, please check the Twitch replays for Rocksmith Encore. We have an extra series that we do from time to time. We had to call it off this month because of the renovation of the hatch, but we'll be back soon with something cool. But you can see the 3 existing episodes, including Arthur's Anatomy of Metal. If you're curious about all the various subgenres of metal, the difference between doom metal and death metal and speed metal and thrash metal, and lots of other things, where it all came from, where it's currently going, things to make you sound cool. What's the difference between Viking metal and metal about Vikings? That is a question that we actually answer, or more accurately, Arthur answers in his Rocksmith Encore. So just check our Twitch replays here on Twitch TV and check that out. It's really worthwhile. It's so many people have written in and said, "Oh my God, that was so educational. I loved that." And so thank you for doing that.
I think that was educational for most of us.
Yeah, I was.
I learned a lot that day.
Most of the encores, I'm here as a student. I was like, Brian Shu, yes, teach me how to play guitar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I thought I knew I knew like 2 things in the metal thing. That was about it.
It was really fun. Thank you for letting me ramble about metal for 2 hours.
That's fine. I think if you did a second one, people would probably show up for it too.
I don't know.
I think this might be a thing that other people have done too, but I've actually remembered bands that you talked about, and while I'm at the gym or running around or something, I'll pull up one of those bands on Spotify and I'll be like, oh yeah, like just to check it out, like it's cool.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, man.
So, is there anything you want to say about Black Flag, or you want to just jump in and then talk about it maybe later?
Yeah, let's talk about it later. I haven't seen it for a while.
Okay, let's do Rise Above.
Did we calibrate?
I did a review or 2 for this, but I can't remember.
We need to calibrate.
Oh, you want to calibrate?
Oh, actually, no, I'm okay.
I think you're probably fine.
I think we'll be close enough.
I hope this is tuned.
I hope so too.
All right.
It's been in its case since the last time that we did a live stream.
All
It's
right.
an open F standard.
All right.
There we go.
I'm going to take a look at the chat while we're doing this. Toy Machine says, I can't wait until Sam nails Greg's solo. We'll talk about it. Well, you'll see it.
Let's try without a pick.
That was the most metal thing I think Arthur's ever done.
I don't need no pit.
Thanks for that.
Our friend Tim from Ireland, Tim Atorius, says, Dream Team, Arthur and Sam, 2 of the nicest people in the office.
Oh, Tim's super nice.
Feeling
Tim
the
is super
love.
nice.
Bisco Bid says, well, if he's a new homeowner, Arthur should take those shelves home.
I need some shelves.
Do you need some shelves?
Yeah, I do.
Keep your hands off these shelves. Do you know how long it took us to get these shelves?
I'm sure it was a while.
Yes.
Even faster to lose them.
Rise above, you're gonna rise above.
God, that song is fun.
Is that, in fact, the Strat that Tim played during Rocksmith Live? Is that the Fender?
Yeah.
It is. Oh, it's all been...
We washed your blood off of the the pick guard.
That's so metal.
Yeah,
It was really metal.
here's a fun fact. Tim bled all over the Stratocaster because he cut his hand while playing, but the show must go on, and yeah, we had to sanitize it. So thanks, Tim, for leaving a little of your DNA here back in the States. We're
Yeah.
cloning you now, and yeah, excellent. Yeah, so the solo.
Let's not talk about the solo.
Well, do you with something like that? It's obviously it's not so much a solo as it is a personal explosion of notes, right? It was entirely spontaneous. How do you track that? Do you worry about being super accurate in a case like that, or you just say, follow his lead and do whatever the hell you want?
It's a in situations. I had a solo like this when I did Black Hole Sun. Black Hole Sun has a solo that's kind of reminiscent of this.
Yes,
where it's like, what's going on, right? And the thing you try to do as best you can is to make it as understandable as possible with what we have, right? The tool that we have is Rocksmith to express what's going on in the music, and what we try to do is figure out a way to communicate that to the player as best we can, and them get as much from it as they possibly can. Because a lot of times it's not like you're learning, like you're not, like maybe you will learn these like licks because of this. Like you've never maybe played like a solo with these kinds of licks in them before, and maybe this is your first time. So we want to make sure those things are in there, right? And there's not too much extra strings, like when he's doing the, he's kind of doing that, but he's kind of, right? So we don't want to track the rest of those notes. We're doing what he kind of intended in certain spots like that. So it's like, okay, this is something that's legible and you can understand, and it feels like you're learning it, right? And that way you get something from the experience of playing it with our game, right? Sometimes like when somebody hits an extra string, we don't necessarily always track that extra string for the sake of. It's easier to read and easier for you to learn, and you're not getting much out of seeing that extra string that doesn't necessarily
it's not going to necessarily enhance the performance.
It's like, you screwed up here, great job,
way to miss that stray note.
So it's there's an element of cleaning to it, but it's absolutely like as accurate as we can possibly get it while taking that into account. So that's kind of how I answer that question.
Oh, and you did, and thank you for that answer.
Good.
Arthur, anything you want to add?
There's an alt bass.
There is an alt bass. I still don't know what the alt bass is. I didn't actually play this.
So Elliot was asking me about this on the stream earlier, and so Jamie has really good ears, and he noticed that there's a little moment where the bassist goes absolutely ballistic and just basically does a Kerry King solo. And I tried it. I was like, oh, not doing that on the stream. And so he got it. He put it in there, so it's there for you.
It's impossible to hear, too. It's like, it's super, super hard to hear. And then when we mixed, because of the way that it was recorded, and then we mixed it out, and he heard it. Like, he was like, I'm hearing these other notes. And I was like, nah. And then he was like, no, it's right here. And I was like, oh, my God, there's totally a ridiculous bass solo in the middle of this song.
Yes.
And he tracked it and put it as an alt bass, which I think was smart.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool because, like, it's actually part of the regular bass part, but he was like, I'm going to keep things consistent for the people who are just wanting to play the bass part.
Sure.
And not play this crazy solo that's kind of coming out of nowhere and you can't even read it.
Given that Black Flag is, let's say, very immediate music, you know, people were like, what do you mean alt bass? There's just one bass, and so thank you for...
There's a secret bass.
There's a secret bass line for super fans.
Yes.
And, well, thank you to Jamie for having super ears, too. That's super... That's the kind of detail you can come to expect here at Rocksmith.
Man, you're really using that podium.
I'm liking the podium.
It's great.
Here. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
We're going to do a short break now. We are going to give away this DLC. So if you like Rise Above by Black Flag, if you like I Want It All by Queen, and if you're interested in learning how to play Take It on the Run by REO Speedwagon, those are the 3 songs that are in this week's 80s pack, the 80s Mix 3. We've got 5 codes of those to give away. UB Vertigo is our man in the chat room. That's Doug. Hi, Doug. What do you think, Doug? Pretty cool, huh? So if you want to win that, follow his instructions now. We'll take a short break. We'll swap in some new players. We'll come back. We'll play a bonus song. As I said, it is an anniversary today, so we're going to play a specific song in honor of that anniversary. And then, during our Q&A section, we will talk about the iOS version, which is finally sort of out. We'll explain what our plans are for that and what you can do now and why we did it and all that fun stuff. Jared is going to come by because it's sort of been his design baby. So stick around. Thanks for showing up. You have reached the Rocksmith official developer live stream, and we'll be back after this.
I'll tell you, learning guitar in general was way out of the zone for me. It's not something I always laid awake at night hoping I could play music one day. I play it because it is hard. Hi, I'm Miles Bristo. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. I have 3 children, a wife, beautiful wife, and I play guitar. At least now I do. Music was sort of not something I grew up with. Grew up in a house with no radio, TV, not allowed to go to the movies, no dancing. A coworker said, "You gotta go see this band." I looked up at them, they were all in their 40s, like me, and I said, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to learn guitar, I want to play music. When I first turned on the game, it kind of said, this is how to hold a pick. This is what the neck does. You know, I didn't know any of these things, so it spoon-fed the notes. So it would be like every 4 beats, or whatever it is I could handle, it would just give me that, plus a little bit of extra. Once I was into this contest and realized there was a contest and decided to do it, I discovered this community. So this experience has given me access to a larger community, which is really why I think people stay in it. When I had my first Skype call with Anthony, it was, so one of you asked me, have you tried Master Mode? And I hadn't. But for these songs, I turned on Master Mode, I started using the game to learn a song. Coach Anthony had given me some ideas on just repeating some sections and kind of commit it to memory. What I'm gonna do now is turn the game off. I'm actually just gonna try to play it. So I did stuff like I was playing and then I absolutely just stopped, like mid-song. But I realized that I'd missed a chord or I missed a note or absolutely blanked out and forgot like what song I'm even playing, like I couldn't even continue. So there were 2 things I went with when I picked the songs for this contest. Number 1, lead, absolutely. Probably because it's hard, right? And I did pick some pretty ambitious songs. Number 2, there were songs that I've enjoyed listening to. I like them, so I'm like, I'm gonna play that. And that's really what this performance is all about. Well, yeah. So sound check wasn't perfect. On a scale of 1 to 10, I feel 10 excited, about a 9 terrified. I got some good advice downstairs in the performers' green room. They said, you already know the song. You played it 6 million times. Your brain's getting in the way and you're overthinking it. Just go up there and play. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna come up on stage and I'm just gonna play.
I was completely terrified when I was downstairs. When I got on stage, it was like a whole different person. I had this chill that went up my spine, and then I just went out, and I don't even know what I did. It was an out-of-body experience. I just want to say thank you, Rocksmith, for making this impossible dream come true. I just can't even believe it. What a night.
Where will Rocksmith take you? Well, for now, it's taken you to our official live stream. Hi, if you're just joining us, my name is Dan Amrick. I'm the community developer on behalf of Rocksmith, and this is the new and improved, I gotta say, improved Rocksmith developer live stream. This is our first time in this set. We had just the last couple of weeks, we did pre-recorded broadcasts from our previous set. This is the same room, but absolutely completely reconfigured. New paint, new drywall, new orientation. We're in a different angle.
I was going to say, we're even facing a different direction.
Yeah, it's kind of weird for us, but hopefully it looks good out there. I'm seeing a lot of positivity in the chat. People really like the way that it looks. And yeah, this will be an evolution. We will continue to improve the space. I think we'll probably wind up with a few more things on the shelves and stuff like that. This was totally like, oh, what do we have around the office that we can put in here? You can use my Pagan Min statue. Okay, there's a Pagan Min statue over there. That's great. So yeah, you'll see some things change, and we have some more technical upgrades too. So that hopefully the fidelity of the show will improve in the coming weeks as well. But we got to test stuff, and then I think you will see the results. It's going to be cool.
Smells like a new car in here.
It does smell like a new car in here. They painted it maybe 2 weeks ago.
That's a solvent.
Yeah. So if I seem like I'm in a really good mood, there are still a few paint fumes in here. David Stevens on the bass, Brian Pody on the guitar in the middle seat, and Brian is actually in your copious free time when you're not raising a family and bicycling 40 miles every day. You are a theater lighting director, so you were like immediately like, here's what we got to do for the lighting.
Yeah, I was worked almost entirely as a lighting designer for about 7 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What led you here then? What's the Pody origin story? How did you wind up coming to?
How did I wind up here?
Yeah.
I actually did both for quite a few years. Because the lighting gigs are all in the evening.
Right.
So
you could do something during the day.
Yeah, but I was very busy, and once children were in the mix, that didn't work out for very long.
Yeah.
So
they do take up a lot of time and money and effort. You
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have had them, now that you think about it.
I disagree.
Yeah. You guys are here to play the special song for the day, and when I mentioned like, hey, could we do this? I actually did not realize that it was the anniversary of this album coming out today. I think it was 35 years ago.
1983.
1983. Okay, so is that 35, 34? I can't.
34.
I can't do that math.
It's after lunch. There's no math.
Right. It's Holy Diver by Dio. I just thought, like, you know what? We have punk, and we have classic rock, and we have sort of pop of the day of the 80s, but we didn't have any 80s metal, and we've got a pretty deep library. And you know what? We haven't done Holy Diver in a really long time. And then it turned out that it was an anniversary day. But as soon as I said, hey, what about Holy Diver for Dio? I want to play guitar. I got bass. Okay. Good.
We weren't even in the meeting yet.
No, you weren't. Usually we do this in a meeting, but on this one I was like, hey, here's what I'm thinking of suggesting for. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, okay, great. That's done. It was a short meeting. What made you so interested in playing this song?
It's Dio.
It's Dio.
It's a great song. It's a great album. Like, why would you not want to play it?
Okay, I guess it was a dumb question now that I hear it out loud. Like, what is it about Dio that you like? He's Dio.
Everything.
All right, so this is available as a single. I think it's also part of a larger pack. I can't remember which pack Holy Diver is in. We also have the Killswitch Engage cover of Holy Diver. This is one of the few songs that we have both the original and the cover in our library. So whichever flavor you like, feel free to dig. But we're going to play the original from 1983. And it looks like we have played it once before on the stream.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions...
That looks like a Coco score.
Yeah. if you have any questions, all you have to do is get 99.7 and you're fine. If you have any questions for us about the song, bring them up and we can address them after the show, or after the song. But let's do it to it. And I will take a peek at the chat. And then we will have Jared McAdams come on and talk about Rocksmith for iOS, which snuck out while we were on sort of stream hiatus there. The best song ever, Fight Me. I'm trying to scroll back to see who's looking for a fight. Arthur, apparently. He's 6-something. He's got range. This was the right choice, according to the chat. We got people singing along in chat.
It's always the right choice. This is one of those songs that I used to cover a lot. Bands.
Tidy Whitey Ghost is saying he's doing interpretive dance to this song. Please turn off your webcam. Biscovid says CC needs to freelance as an interior designer and use the stream as a selling point. I know, right? The concept for the set was, what if it was more like a late night TV show? And that's where she's like, what if it's a podium like Jeopardy? And all you have to say is like Jeopardy, and I'm there. That's pretty good, but you're no Jason Kogel.
No. Don't remind me.
I'm guessing that's a JCM 800. I mean, that sounds like a real Marshall JCM 800 was the metal amp at the time, and is still a fantastic metal amp.
That's why there's one sitting next to my desk.
That's right. We have one here, and sometimes when it's very, very late, we turn them on, crank them up. It just felt like... Satyr Catch says, David looks gorgeous today, and that bass looks welded to his very soul.
It's true.
It's true. I was going to adopt it as my office bass, and he said, no, you're not. It's still a point of contention. Thanks for bringing it up. I'm sorry, David. Eventually the song ends.
No!
Oh, thank you. Oh, man.
So, Vivian Campbell, well done, David.
Yeah, really nice.
Vivian Campbell
Flawless
was
performance.
like 20 or 21.
Oh, is that who's playing on this? Is Vivian Campbell?
Yeah.
From River Dogs, and he played with Def Leppard for a little while, didn't he?
I think he's been playing with Def Leppard since '92.
Oh, okay. So a little while being 25 years, but sure.
Yeah.
It's such a good production and mix, too, for being as old as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah,
look
it
at what
really
else
holds
came
up.
out during those years. Like, it sounds so
It
professional.
still sounds very fresh and, yeah, super balanced, and it cuts.
His guitar playing is really interesting, too. It's not really like stock. You know, it's not those stock licks that so many people play. It's very different.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's very cool.
Also has one of the best album covers ever.
Well, yeah, this is a very metal album cover. Unfortunately, we do not have the technology to throw the album cover up, but I'm sure someone will do it in chat. I know, like, people are just like, wow, you got a screen behind you. Just throw it. No, we're not there yet. Give us time. Give us time. Cool. Thank you both.
Thank you. And thank you, CC, for our awesome new stream space.
Yeah, for reals. This is like class. Whereas I am like school in summer, no class. What we've got now is the In Case You Missed It slide. Because we're going to swap some people out. Jared's going to come on and we're going to talk a little bit. But the In Case You Missed It slide is what we always do to remind you that, hey, we have more than 1,000 songs in the Rocksmith library now. And the takeaway of that is that there may be things in there that you don't even know are in there, but that you would love to learn how to play. And this being the 80s Mix 3 week, I figured we'd throw back to the 80s Mix 1, which was Extreme's Play With Me, and then Girl You Want by Devo, which is one of my favorite songs. People don't think of Devo as a guitar band. That was my microphone. Turn on my microphone, man. Thanks. Yeah, it was, you know what, I mentioned Devo, and then people are like, we don't want to hear you talk about Devo again. I'm a big Devo fan, and they are basically a punk band from Akron that also incorporated synths, but there's some really good stabby kind of guitar parts in there too. And of course, Judas Priest, Electric Eye. If you liked Devo, something would tell me you would probably also like Electric Eye. And then just because not everything that we put out is in a pack, particularly our earlier stuff, we would put things out just as singles. So Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, Rick Springfield's Jesse's Girl, and Tommy Two-Tone, 867-5309. Those are all available as individual song purchases. So if you've got an 80s Jones as a result of this week, you have a way to get through it. There is plenty of stuff. And don't forget, you can also sort the in-game shop by year. You can sort by year, and you can stream through all of the 80 songs that we have in our library. And that's fine. You can do that. So in case you missed it, there's 6 more songs you can buy if you feel like you got money burning a hole in your pocket, or if you just want something fun to do over Memorial Day weekend. What are your Memorial Day weekend plans, Jared McAdams?
Well, as for me, my plans are as follows.
Can we bring up the next slide?
Yes. Yeah, roll 212. I don't really have anything on the books. I'm going to a housewarming party for a dear friend of the show here, Matt Montgomery. Just got a new house.
Did he really? That's excellent. That means we can't use his old rehearsal space, can we?
I think he's got something even better now.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, he owns it, so it's like 200 square feet, but it's
sure.
nice.
No,
it's
yeah,
a sweet
tiny
layout.
house nation,
yeah.
man. Sure, why not?
Good
for him.
Yeah, and hanging out with some friends. All my friends now are parents of my daughter's friends.
Sure.
Now, like people I actually know, I never see. So we're hanging out with them. They're great. They're great people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them.
No,
there
you
shouldn't
checked?
be. I looked into it.
No, I did the background checks.
Yeah,
They're fine.
no, their
they're
garbage is clean.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. Just chilling, man. What about you?
I'm going to be building a 3D printer with my wife.
Right.
Yeah, we are slowly building a 3D printer because we're like, we don't know what we're doing, and the instructions are not there. We're following there's a video series from the guy who built the thing, like the guy that runs the company. He shows you, like, but this isn't really instruction. He keeps saying, this is for entertainment. This is for fun. We're like, but you didn't release a PDF of the instructions, so this is not just for entertainment, you goofball. So we are, like, stopping, and so far, so good, but we're taking our time so that we do it right
When
the
do you
first
actually
time.
get to make, like a weapon you can carry on an airplane?
Not a weapon. I'm not interested in making weapons. I'm interested in making D&D weapons, like little... Don't... yeah,
you're on a list now.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
both are. That's
Damn
okay.
it! Yeah, we should be printing by the end of the weekend if all goes well. We have filament.
That's exciting.
We're ready to do it. So, but that's not. Well, there's something even more exciting. I would
Oh,
say.
is there?
There is, Jared.
Yeah.
So those of you who have been with the show for a long time know that Jared was but a lowly note tracker, and is now a lowly associate designer.
Yes.
And as such, you have been you helped shepherd Remastered, the logo of which is behind you.
I did.
You helped bring that to market and bring that out for everybody, and then you immediately focused your efforts on Rocksmith for iOS. And again, you're
right.
one of many people. We have a strike team here, but when it came to the design, you were clearly the most important.
One among many, yeah.
Yeah, when it came to the design decisions and all the nitty gritty of what does the text actually say in the game, that fell to you, and then functionality and how are we going to present all this stuff. And now Rocksmith for iOS is available.
Hey,
ish,
sort of. Yeah.
Do you want to explain what that is?
Well, it's not uncommon for mobile games in particular to do what's known as a soft launch.
I was told we don't have to use the finger quotes for that anymore. That's an established enough thing. I actually, in some of the official communication, I typed up the words soft launch, put it in quotes, and I had 2 people say, no quotes around soft launch.
Well, I think the people out there enjoy it.
Okay,
when
sure.
they
No,
get
it's
down
visual.
with the
I get it.
vernacular. So during this soft launch period, we're keeping an eye on. It gives us a chance to see what works, what doesn't work, what works really, really well, and what could be improved. So that when we go wide with it and everybody gets to look at it, it's in the best possible shape it can be.
So there is a plan to go worldwide. This is not just, hey guys, we just decided we like Canada best.
Well, I'm not going to comment on my personal feelings about the great nation of Canada.
Canada.
But yeah, yes. Eventually, it will have a worldwide release.
And when it comes to worldwide, the plan is to add iPhone.
That's right. That's what we're working on.
So I know that some people have said, like, oh, I want to play it on my phone, and then other people have said, why would you want to play it on your phone? Because they're worried about the small screen. And obviously, iPad is the only device supported for soft launch, but iPad gives you more real estate and gives you a more, something that looks a little bit closer, or will at least feel. But some people, that's the iOS device they have, or that's the iOS device that they own and can control. One of the things that we found is people really wanted the iOS version so that they could play not tethered to a television, because they might share a TV with the rest of their family or something like that. And that's a much more personal device and a more personal experience. So you might as well, hey, that's an option for those folks.
That's exactly the thinking. Yeah.
Can I grill you with the big questions? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? The podium is fantastic.
Go for it, Alex. No, you grill me with the answers, and then I grill you with the questions.
This country was used for the soft launch because it was convenient. No, you already sort of answered the Canada thing.
Canada.
Coming from the perspective of somebody who's already playing Rocksmith on one of our existing platforms, there was a lot of questions about, can I move my DLC over? And because PS4 players knew that they could move it over from PS3, Xbox One players could move it over. Steam players have always been on the same platform, so they're used to building up a giant library and seeing it sort of follow them. But this is a fresh start. You can't
it
move
is.
your DLC over.
I think a term that you use a lot, and when you're talking about this, is it's a different ecosystem.
Yes.
The Apple Store, the App Store, and the Steam Store, and all the various places where you might buy the DLC, those are basically separate stores. And if you buy a product at Store A, you can't go and exchange it at Store B.
Yeah.
You can try. You might get in some trouble, though.
Yeah.
But the folks who run these online purchasing options are pretty good about not letting you do that.
I think one of the things people, they connect with, and this is wonderful that those of you that play connect with Rocksmith as a Ubisoft product, but you haven't actually paid Ubisoft for the DLC. If we ran that electronic store, then we could potentially say, well, you bought it once, you can have it multiple times, whatever. We did when we could, when we were working within the ecosystem. That's why PS3 DLC doesn't transfer over to Xbox One. It just goes within its little silo. But people say, but I bought all the stuff. Yeah, but you bought it from a third party.
Right.
We're the Coca-Cola to their McDonald's or Burger King is what I often use online. You can't take a Burger King cup into McDonald's and say, but I bought Coke at the other place.
But you know what I learned in the process? My big
fast food thing doesn't work internationally.
They don't do refills, I guess.
So Tesco and Target and and Walmart, but that's really what it is. It's its own. It's its own store run by completely different people that happens to sell the same item in a slightly different format. And what's worse, that format is specific to the things that to that device.
Exactly.
So it's physically different.
Everyone
code.
has its own architecture. I mean, as those of you who follow us on a weekly basis have probably had the experience of every platform but mine got the new DLC this week, and for some reason my platform didn't launch on the right day, or hearing about other platforms that didn't launch, and that's a symptom of this same setup. Each one is its own shop, its own deal with its own content, and even though you play it the same way and you play it through the same interface, it's fundamentally different stuff, different files.
Right. And the last difficult question, and I'm sorry to end on a downer. Hey, what
We've
about
got an upper after this, right?
Sure. Well, yeah, Brian McCune is here, so we can't do better than that. What about Android? iOS is obviously only one mobile platform, and Android is very popular, and yet we consciously did not confirm any sort of thing beyond we are working on iOS.
Right, and right now, that's what we're working on. We're working on making the iOS experience as good as it can possibly be, and that's taking all of our attention right now.
You would be surprised how much attention this is taking. It is not easy to launch a game on a 7th platform, which has a completely different architecture from all of the other systems.
Right.
So yeah, it's iOS for now. There's nothing to talk about for Android. We are really just focused on iOS, so please don't expect it. It might happen someday, but it might not either. Like we have no current plans to bring it to Android, straight up. So I would rather tell you the truth than go, you never know, maybe if you wish hard enough. No, like we're focused on iOS. It's going to be an iOS product for now. Who knows what the future will bring? We said that Rocksmith was done, and then Remastered showed up.
Right.
So, maybe there will be an opportunity, but do not count on that. Do not plan on it. If you're really interested in getting a mobile edition, that is other than just get a laptop and play the Steam version, which I think is fun. People are like, finally, I can take Rocksmith with me. I'm like, but you always could.
Yeah, I mean, I think we want people to find the way into Rocksmith that works best for them, and by expanding to iOS, that's one more portal into the Rocksmith universe that people can have as an option. But if you're already knee deep in it on your platform of choice, then we encourage you to continue to enjoy that.
Yeah, we're not going to stop supporting any of the existing platforms, despite the fact that it means that he gets even less sleep every night. We're not going to stop ever. Don't quote me on that. Two things that I do want to bring up, though. One, DLC licensing is completely different for console. So when we clear the license for PC and console, that's actually a different license. And that's the nature of the beast. So with mobile, we have to go back and get an additional license or an extension of that license so that we can bring it out. So several people have asked, so are you going to bring out all the DLC? We're bringing out as much DLC from the existing library as we possibly can. We've talked a lot on this show about how difficult and lengthy the licensing process can sometimes be. So we'll bring you what we can. But yeah, it's going to be on its own schedule. It really is sort of, it's the 7th platform that's just not going to be in sync with the first 6. It's the nature of the beast.
And we'll be communicating that release schedule through sort of separate channels.
Yes, well, including this one. In fact, let's show some of what's available this week. Now, when we launched the game, it is free. So keep that in mind. If you all of the stuff I didn't even mention, that was the good thing. Is that it's totally free. You can download it now if you're in Canada. It will be out worldwide. It will remain free when it's worldwide. But you can also buy DLC, such as, say, this 80s pack. This is a completely different 80s pack, but you recognize these songs from our main library. Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, Cinderella, Nobody's Fool, and Europe, The Final Countdown. These are all available. You can buy these as singles or in a pack, in a little bundle. And the FAQ that's on Rocksmith.com about iOS explains the difference between packs and bundles, and actually explains a whole lot. If you have not seen that FAQ, you'll want to see it. So this stuff is available. We also have a little bit extra DLC in our shop on iOS this week, which is The Other Slide. There it is. Blue Oyster Cult, one of my favorite bands growing up. This is not a lie. My wife and my song, you know, like every couple has a romantic song. Our song is Don't Fear the Reaper, and that's not a joke. So Don't Fear the Reaper, Godzilla, and Burnin' For You, 3 huge radio hits that you will recognize from late 70s, early 80s. We're going to continue to bring out as much mobile DLC as we possibly can. You'll only see it if you're in the Canadian store, and I will tell you now, some people like to jump the border. Don't do that. You will buy stuff that you can never get again. Then, like, because your purchases won't necessarily carry over. So, as eager as you may be, please rely on other people to tell you about what this is. We have a small video. Do you want to show the video? Are we lined up? I forgot all about it. I should have thrown to that.
How small is this video? Is it like?
It's about 2 minutes.
No, I meant size-wise.
Oh, well, it's about the size of an iPad screen, actually. Okay. It's a direct capture. So this is actually iOS in motion. That should be very familiar to all of you who are familiar with our show. So this is just a little B-roll, as we call it. This is the experience. If you haven't gotten to see it, this is what you see when you start up. We do support the Lightning connector as well as 30-pin. If you have an iPad 2, this will run on a 30-pin, or you can use the built-in microphone as well. So you guys that know Rocksmith know this. It's the dynamic difficulty. So it starts with just giving you very few notes so that you can kind of very good, Anthony. It just gives you a handful of notes, but you can always go into our riff repeater, and now with the access of a touch interface, you can say, I want to practice this part, I want you to crank the difficulty, and you can customize your practice sessions however you want. So the core experience that you know from Rocksmith and Rocksmith Remastered has been brought over to iOS, but of course all kinds of consideration, like how do we use the touch interface, has been considered for this platform. It was built from the ground up. It took quite a while, but we do have the lessons in there as well. For instance, you know, there's stuff like this. There are more than 80. I think there are maybe a total of 80 or close to, or just over 80 lessons. So you can get all of these. It's the same interactive videos that you're used to. Our lesson instructors show you how to do it, and then you get the opportunity to play it live. The game is listening. It's the standard Rocksmith teaching method that has worked for so many people up to this point. That was our goal, was to bring it out for more people so that more people can get the opportunity to learn guitar this way. Because you folks who watch the stream every week, you know it works. We don't have to sell you on it. But if you have a friend who's looking to learn guitar but isn't maybe a console player or a Steam player and they have an iOS device, you might bring this up to them. That's what we're hoping, is that those of you that know that Rocksmith is valuable, know that Rocksmith works, that you can be out there and be our little street team and be like, it's coming to iOS. It's coming to iOS. And you might want to try this because I know you're not a gamer, etc. Do you know anybody that's not a gamer? I don't, Anthony.
My mom.
A few people.
I don't know your mom.
Do you want to?
Sure. Introduce me sometime. Brian McCune over there on bass.
The stream later.
Anthony. Hi, Brian's mom. Anthony Martinez here. And they're here to do our last song from the 80s Mix 3. It's weird when I'm standing, isn't it? The whole vibe is just different.
Yeah,
I just never stop
love this
talking.
space. I love the new room. It's great.
It is really,
Great
really cool.
job,
So,
CC.
yeah, if you're tuning in late, this is a new set for us. We have been with a green screen and some sort of hoopty diner stools.
I should have worn green in celebration to finally be able to wear green.
Yes, we can finally wear green. It didn't even occur to me.
He changed his entire wardrobe.
Yeah,
I know, I had to.
No, I stopped buying green shirts for the same reason. I believe Cece actually called them hobo stools. She really hated the old stools. So the new stools,
nice.
They're padded. They've got backs. It's comfortable, and you guys have room now that we're not all squoozing together. I'm not going to get hit in the head with a bass headstock anymore. I'm really grateful about that.
Yeah.
Well, but even if Anthony cheats this way a little bit, it'd be okay. We can make that happen. So. Yes, thank you to CC Smith. She's the community developer on behalf of South Park, The Fractured But Whole. And also, she plays Werewolves Within on Wednesdays on the Ubisoft channel. So twitch.tv/Ubisoft for Werewolves Wednesdays. If you're thinking about getting VR, or if you just want to see what a VR title looks like from her point of view, it's a really good game to stream, and it's a lot of fun. I actually try to tune in whenever I can. But you guys are here to play our final song of the day, which was...
I might play it.
You might. You're still thinking about it?
I'm on the fence. I might take it on the run.
Oh, it's Taken on the Run by REO Speedwagon. I wondered where that joke was going, man. I really
me too.
Did not know.
I didn't know.
So Brian, you're the big muckety muck. You're the mangler of musical content, as
Did
I like
you guys
to call
come up with a new one while I was away, or what? Sharon and Pody. What was it? The Minister of Musical Muggles.
Oh, that makes you very happy as a big Harry Potter
Yes,
fan.
it
I'm
does.
sure that you do
It
like
does.
that.
Yeah. CC hosts Werewolf Wednesdays. I host Wizarding Wednesdays at my house where we watch Harry Potter movies.
And what's your address so that the entire chat can come over?
It's behind Jared's house. Just be sure to ring his doorbell about it.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Fine. You can be the Minister of Musical Muggles. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's me.
Anthony, you're the note tracker, though. You did all the hard work on this. He takes all the credit because he's the minister. But you, you were adamant every day this week during our daily meeting. You're like, "And I got to practice for the stream." Is this one of those songs that's trickier than it looks, or were you just haven't touched it in 2 months?
And that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's pretty straightforward actually, and I didn't have a chance to play test it until today. But I'm glad I looked at
Well,
it.
I mean, you play tested it before we sent it off to Sony and Microsoft.
Oh, right. yeah. I shouldn't have said playtest. Review.
Just practice.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to be playing the lead chart, and Brian's going to be playing rhythm on bass, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing some rhythms and some notes.
That sounds very good for a bass guitarist to do. That is a thing.
Yeah, you're supposed to play with the pick. I don't want to.
Okay,
I don't
fine.
use my fingers.
Travis thanks you.
Yeah.
I'll play with a pick on another song to even out the balance that
thank
shouldn't
you.
have it on there. So this is Taken on the Run by REO Speedwagon, one of the 3 songs in the 80s Mix 3. We also played Holy Diver by Dio. You can buy that as an individual song. Just go to the store of your choice, and you should find it. I don't think Dio is out on iOS
Did
yet.
I plug in? I didn't plug in because I'm smart.
Oh.
I'm the mangler of the...
Oh, he was
I
so...
was sitting here all this time
I should
just
probably
relaxing.
scoot over
You were
just a
so
little.
Yeah,
excited.
because did I almost get you in the head just then?
No, but just, you know.
I might have.
You can if you like. It's
Well,
fine.
no.
These are the little things that we're going to work out as we go through the
I'm good.
the growing pains of the new streaming room.
Like plugging in your instrument.
Yeah, well, that we can't help. We have another giveaway coming up at the end of this song, so thanks for sticking around. You will be rewarded. At least one of you will. The irony is that Ben Toast said they look ready to rock, and then you were definitely not ready to rock.
I was ready to rest.
Tufty McTavish asks, how big is the Rocksmith iOS download? I'm sure somebody in the chat can answer that if they haven't already, but I think it was about 300 megabytes. That comes with 4 free songs, including 3 songs that are not available anywhere else in the Rocksmith library. And also Ode to Joy, which is. But yeah, there's like 20, 25 songs available for DLC purchase as well already, so we're getting there. Tufty McTavish says, I see legs bouncing while playing. Yep. That Anthony guy is pretty good, you know. Yeah. I agree.
Oh.
Thank you for the yeah, that was a hit in the chat room. People are like, "Oh, I really like the song. I really like the song." It's been, to me, it was always a guilty pleasure. When I was a kid growing up, REO Speedwagon was not a band that people were like, "I defined myself by liking REO Speedwagon." But like as time goes on, it's more and more like, "There's no way I'm changing the radio. There's no way I'm changing the radio." I used to dislike Journey because it was just overplayed growing up. I just couldn't get away from it, and so I was just like, "I hate it because it's popular." And then I grew up a little bit, and I was like, oh man, this is a really good songwriting.
Yeah.
Like this is for pop rock. This is really, really good.
Yeah, ask Kokol if he had this on tape, and he said, "No, I didn't. It was just on radio all the time."
Yeah, you didn't need to. You didn't need to buy the albums. It was just like, oh, guess what? We're playing this hour again. It's the top 2.
Yeah,
Journey and REO Speedwagon. That was it. You know. So, anything you want to add as the note tracker, Anthony? You put this song together. Anything to look out for? Any techniques that you should be practicing?
Yeah, there are a lot of double stops onto hammer-ons and pull-offs during the verses. Those can be a little tricky because of all the string skips, but thanks to Riff Repeater, you can loop certain sections and practice those, get them down. The rhythm chart is pretty straightforward. It's just a standard hum and strum.
Yeah,
so
it's that
you
acoustic guitar you hear the whole time.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. So, I mean, it's something you can learn and play at parties, you know,
if I
bonfires
ever
on an
got
acoustic guitar.
invited to parties, I would do that.
Yeah.
I do this every time I go to a party.
Do you really?
I play, but I just play lead, and no one knows what I'm playing.
Yeah, so that there's no backing band, and you're not humming or strumming. So.
And I just sing the bass part.
All right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. Yeah, give it a shot.
Cool. Thank you. We have our final
thank you.
giveaway to do.
Let's give it away.
Give it away now. It's the Ernie Ball prize pack featuring everything you see here. We gave one of these away at the top of the show, and we will close the show by doing it as well. You get a brand new strap. Always good to have a few spares. And this one is silver. We show the black one, but it's actually silver. Got a peg winder. Got some strings, both for your bass and your guitar. Regular slinky bass and regular slinky guitar strings. These are kind of excellent. Do everything, anything you need it to do kind of strings. Plus Wonder Wipes, which is Ernie Ball's own care and feeding system for your guitar. Keeps your strings clean, your guitar shiny, and your fretboard moisturized. Plus lots of picks. You get a dozen of Ernie Ball's medium picks at the moment, and 3 of our very rare, very special, 1,000 only, 1,000 milestone Rocksmith picks. So if you are the person who is chosen at random for this, you will receive everything that you see here. Thank you. Yes, so just follow UB Vertigo's advice in our chat room. He will tell you what you need to do to win that stuff. We gave away one before, we'll give away one now. And of course, thank you to Ernie Ball for giving us all the swag that we can give stuff away every week. So if you don't win this week, do come back next week. We will be continuing to give them away. We gave them away while we were doing the renovation of our room. We just did the rest of the show was pre-recorded, but this was taken care of and done live. So if you didn't, actually, we're hitting the limit. Somebody won one week and did not send their information back to Doug, and after 3 weeks, you forfeit. So if
that's a bummer.
Yeah, well, not for whoever gets the prize instead. So if you think you have won, check your inboxes, please, including your alternate inbox, not just your friend's inbox, but there's an other inbox on Twitch, and that's where Doug will have written to you. Because if you just don't get it, then Doug's going to have to say, sorry, man, time ran out. At one point, the reason we have this rule is because one time we held something for 4 months before somebody claimed it, and it just seemed unfair. It's like, hey, man, if you don't want the free stuff, plenty of other people do. Let us spread that love around. So if you win, yeah, please get us your information right away. It may take a little while to get to you because we do ship international mail, and so, depending on where you live and how far away you are from San Francisco, that might take a little while. Also, sometimes the mailroom tends to do them in batches. So, like, you might win 1 week, but it won't go out for 2 more weeks or something like that. But my goal is to get it down to the mailroom ASAP, and that's why I ask you to send all of your information to UB Vertigo if you win ASAP, so he can get it to me ASAP, and then I can get it off my desk as soon as possible. Thank you both. Thank you to CC Smith for our super awesome new room.
Thank you, CC. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for coming back. This will only get better. This was our trial by fire. It was either like, let's just go and see what it looks like with the new lights and the new set and everything. So we'll be tweaking things. Thanks for any feedback. You can always send us feedback on Twitter at Rocksmith Game, at Ubisoft Studio SF. We're also on Facebook. We're /Rocksmith/ Ubisoft Studio SF. Let us know what you think about the new set. We would love to pass on your praise to CC because she put a lot of work into this room. So we're going to leave you with another look at the 80s Mix 3. We have 3 songs for you that are fresh this week. We have more songs coming next week. What songs are they? Obviously, stop by the Rocksmith.com forums. If you're a regular, you know we do a little puzzle, a little giveaway thing. And I believe we will have some sort of hint. Maybe it'll be a puzzle you have to solve. Maybe it'll be a screenshot of some of the notes that are in the songs that you have to figure out, what is it that I'm playing? We try to mix it up every once in a while. So check our forums tomorrow morning, and you will see something that gives you a clue as to what's coming next week. But until then, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend if you're here in America. If not, just enjoy your regular 2-day weekend. And we'll leave you with a look at that trailer. Thanks for showing up. See you next week, everybody.
Bye.
Keep it going.
You take it on the run, baby. If that's the way you want it, baby, then I don't want you around. I don't believe it, not for a minute. You're under the gun, so you take it on the run. above, we're gonna rise above. They distort what we say. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Try to stop what we do. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. When they can't do it themselves. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. We are tired of your abuse. Try to stop us. It's no use. Societies are of control. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Think they're smart, can't think themselves. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Laugh at us behind our back. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. I find satisfaction in what they lack. Rise above, we're gonna rise above. We are tired of your abuse. Try to stop us, but it's no use.
I'm a man with a one-track mind, so much to do in one lifetime. Being man for compromise and where's and why's, I'm living lies, so I'm living it all. Yes, I'm living it all.